Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. How have you all been doing? It's been a really long time since I've done a VTuber video. I've been really busy with work, having a lot of days in my schedule, so I didn't really have that much time to do a lot of recording. But I am trying to get back into doing videos, especially VTuber videos. But yeah, I've been really wanting to play Tailor Tales again. I've been kind of doing some playing like during my off time. Not really doing a lot, but as you can see, I have updated my character. I gave her, some new accessories. I changed her hair. I did change up the boutique design, and I'm really just super excited to get back into the progress where we last left off. We were on Neil's chapter. We're playing Neil's story, sorry, and right now we're on chapter 5. So I'm really excited to continue the progress of the game. Where we last left off, the story basically starts out with the MC meeting Neil when they're little kids, and then now they're reuniting. And Neil, he's kind of flustered because this little kid that he met when he was 8 years old, he thought it was a boy like the whole time, because the MC was like a really super tomboyish as a kid. But no, lo and behold, that person that he met as a child was actually a girl. So that's gonna be really interesting to see how their relationship will progress. So yeah, I'm really excited to play Tailor Tales again, and I'm really excited to see the progression of the story. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into chapter 5 of Neil's story. Let's click continue. Wasn't I supposed to wear something? I can't remember. Was I supposed to? Well, he's crafted it. I can't remember. It was a skirt I did. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to wear it, but we'll find out later on, I guess. After a long day at work, I want to explore what my city has to offer, and I end up at the local park for a casual stroll during the evening. The park is mostly deserted. I see a couple of people walking their dogs. I sit down on the bench and enjoy the crickets chirping in the background. The night sky is clear and I can see the stars. Business has been going fine so far. It's hard work, but I think I finally settled in a pace that I like. Nothing has really disturbed me from my work, even though sometimes my thoughts wander off to my memories of a certain purple-haired boy. Ever since that day in the coffee shop, I keep thinking of Neil when he was little. The memory has always held a special place in my heart, even though nothing extraordinary happened back then. He was a lost and scared little boy, and I helped him out. I just never realized he thought I was a boy as well. Regardless, mixing up my gender shouldn't have Neil freaking out so much, but I just can't pinpoint exactly what it is that has got Neil in such a tizzy. Not that I can really do anything about it because I haven't really spoken to him since. I've seen him a couple of times in passing, usually near the hospital. He might work there, but I'm not sure. Nevertheless, each time I've seen him, he's either not noticed me or pretended not to notice me. I'm annoyed by it either way. I figured we could be friends after finding out we had met each other before in our childhoods, but I guess I was wrong. Suddenly I hear someone approach me in the dead of the night, and I stare into the distance to figure out who it is. Not a second later, and I see Neil emerge from the darkness, his head hanging low, looking at the ground. He hasn't even noticed me. He's too engrossed into whatever he's doing. It Seems he's looking around for something because he's checking every spot on the trail and then sighing when there's nothing there. He stops at a trash can and looks around the ground over there, crouching down to get a better view. I chew on my lip, deciding whether or not to call out to him. Then of course I remember the last time we spoke and he wasn't very welcoming back then. In fact, he wanted me to stop talking to him, so should I even bother? I watch him for a few silent seconds, deciding whether or not to approach him. Flat out ignore him. Are you looking for something? I don't know, I feel like if we ask him if he's looking for something, he might get bothered. He's gonna be like, oh, I told you not to talk to me or anything like that. But I don't know, ignoring him seems pretty rude too. I'm so curious though. I'm kind of overthinking this because I know it says that none of the answers are like the wrong answer. But like still, I'm just trying to think about what would I do in this situation. Let's help him out. Maybe he needs help with something. So let's say, are you looking for something? Are you looking for something? I ask out loud. Neil suddenly jumps on his feet and frantically looks around to see where the noise came from. When his eyes finally land on me, he quickly composes himself and then twists his face into a scowl. That is none of your business, he says. I glare at him in response. I was only asking a simple question. He didn't need to be so rude about it. It's obvious he's looking for something. Why he'd reply like that to me, I have no idea. Neil proceeds to look around like I'm not even there, and the idea of a quiet evening at the park is suddenly sullied. Are you sure you didn't lose anything? I ask.
Huh.
Are you always this nosy? Neil huffs at me. He turns to me. If you must know so badly, I lost a watch of mine. Want me to help look for it? I offer. I'm an adult. I can manage just fine without your help, he says in a grouchy voice. He continues to look around, ignoring me. It's so hard to get along with him. I guess having met each other when we were kids doesn't mean we get to be friends when we're adults. The thought leaves me a little sad. I try my best to ignore Neil, but I'm starting to feel unwelcome here. With what with the way he's deliberately not looking at me or searching in my general area. I decide to leave. No point in staying when I can't enjoy the peace and quiet of the night with someone rustling behind me. So I get up from the wooden bench, dust off my clothes, and start to leave. I walk on a faster pace because I really don't like how I can feel Neil's eyes burning a hole in my back. That's also when I hear this piercing sound of shattering glass. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I look down at my feet. It seems the heel of my shoe has been driven into the glass of a silver watch. My mouth slowly shapes into an O. Oh no. Damn. I think I found your watch, I say nervously. I take a small step sideways and pick up the broken and expensive looking watch. There's a huge crack in the glass. I grimace at it. I think you may be doing this on purpose, says Neil as he's gotten caught up with me. Well, I definitely didn't do it on purpose, but I'm sure Neil will think whatever he wants to think. He snatches the watch out of my hand and inspects it, his eyes studying the broken glass. I cringe in anticipation of what he's going to say. I require you to pay for a replacement as soon as possible. I want to protest, but I have no leg. I know I have no leg to stand on. I sheepishly nod my head. How much was it? Probably like $1,000. Damn, bro, what? 6,000 euros. How much is that in USD? What? I don't have that kind of money to spend. I shriek out, that's way too much. You should have thought of that before your heel punctured my watch, he says coolly. Find yourself apologize. Nah, I gotta defend myself in this case. Are you joking? I didn't even see the watch, so like... Okay, it was an accident, but still, I didn't see the watch. I wasn't paying attention, but like... You're just being a dickhead right now, so I have to defend myself. It was an accident. I didn't do it on purpose. You should have... It was an accident. I didn't do it on purpose. You shouldn't have lost it in the first place. I snap back. Oh, you want to pin the blame of your mistakes on me? I guess you spilling coffee all over me the other day was also my fault? Hey, I tried to offer to pay for your dry cleaning back then and you declined. That's because you absolutely ruined it. There was no saving it. There definitely was, I fire back childishly. Just because you're ignorant about the way liquids interact with fabric doesn't mean it was a lost cause. Y'all definitely didn't like being called ignorant on top of breaking his watch as well. It was written all over his face. He was scowling by now. Being the owner of some petite little boutique doesn't make you the expert in all things fabric. I could feel myself start to turn a little red. I'll have you know, I have tons of things about fabric that would never even cross your mind. Just because you're rich and pay for everything without a second thought doesn't mean everyone else does the same thing. Some of us know what we're buying and why. The atmosphere is getting tense between us, but I can't help myself. If he insults me, of course I'm going to defend myself. Exactly. I'll contact you again regarding the watch and hope by then you've learned to be more civilized. Neil gives me a pointed glare and then leaves the park. He dares to speak about being civilized. The guy who's been nothing but rude since the beginning has the nerve to talk about manners. Fine. He can come look me up about that watch, but I'm not paying him. Period. While we're here, let's do a couple of designs and then we're going to move on to chapter 6. Also, I did buy some new, designs for, the shirts. And also bought a couple new colors. It's not much, but you know. But I gotta start from somewhere. Hope to get more stuff so I can do some custom outfits too. That'll be a lot of fun. Okay, I have no clue what I'm getting wrong. Like the colors, the spots on it are too small and I cannot see anything. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like the color is green, but then there's these dots. I can't see the colors. I can't tell if it's the orange or the pink. I'm checking the checklist and it's wrong. I'm just gonna skip it. Else doesn't help that I don't have my glasses on. So that's kind of making it especially difficult. I don't really wear my glasses during nighttime anyways. I think I'm gonna do this next, do this one, and then I'm gonna continue with the next chapter. Oh, the length's wrong. There you go. I kind of want to buy some stuff for her. This outfit's just so boring. Wait, I forgot. I have to make the outfits myself. I can't, like... Let me just make myself a new outfit. I'm gonna do above the knee. Let's do black. Add some gold crosses. We don't want to keep it white. Let's leave it white. There's a bit of a clipping here, but it'll do, and I did make this top earlier before I started recording. Anyways, let's continue on. Let's go on to chapter 6. It's been a few days since my last encounter with Neil at the park, and I've all but put the memories about it behind me, secretly hoping he'll just forget about it. I've been quite busy with my store. There's been a new shipment of fabric, and I'm excited at all the color and textures I have available at my fingertips. I lay them out on the counter, wondering what I should create with them. The bell rings and I look up at the door. I stop dead in my tracks and I see it's Neil again. Oh no, he's come for his watch, hasn't he? Just when I've put him out of my mind, he's here to remind me of what transpired. Neil looks around the store a little bit before his gaze settles on me. Good day, Mirage. I hope you're in better control of your balance today since the last time we've met. If I'm not, I'll be sure to step on your feet this time, I reply sarcastically. Neil clicks his tongue at me, then leans his elbows to the counter, clasping his hands together and then resting his chin on top of them. He looks over at me, studying me with his eyes. I suddenly feel a little defenseless. Let's talk about my watch. I swallow, knowing this was coming. Luckily, I am not daft enough to forget to ensure such an I can't read, sorry. Luckily, I am not daft enough to forget to insure such an expensive item, especially one with sentimental value. I've contacted my insurance company and will get the full amount reimbursed. I look at him blankly. Okay, that's it? He got the money back? Well, that's definitely a load off my back. This doesn't mean you're absolved of any responsibility, Neil says in a much more serious tone. He casts his eyes down on the counter and his fingers hover over my new fabric. He seems a bit intrigued. You did still break a personal item of mine. And pray tell, what would you like me to do about that? You've already had the money refunded. There's nothing much else I can do. Unless you want to say you somehow managed to cut your finger on the broken piece of glass and you want to be reimbursed for that too. Neil frowns at me, then shakes his head a little, clicking his tongue dismissively at me again. I'm not sure if such a tiny piece of glass could ever pose a threat to me, but I'm glad you're concerned about my well-being. That's a step above yesterday's attitude. Retort back, you didn't have to be so mean about it. You know what, he wants to be sassy, you know what, I could be sassy too. Honestly. Let's retort back, he wants to be an asshole, I could be an asshole too, watch. Oh my god. He's again slamming me down for my attitude and I'm merely responding to his pompous personality. Pompous, I think. Well, it's only natural to care for people who are so fragile and sheltered. I trail off with a shrug. I can see anger flash in his eyes. That hit the mark. I feel oddly smug about myself. Now, if you only extended that care to people's personal items, I think you may still need some lessons on that. He says, a smirk playing on his lips. This weird battle of wits is draining me. I can feel myself getting angry and impatient with Neil. What do you want? I finally ask him. Neil straightens his back. Last time you mentioned that you'd make me a dress shirt, correct? Don't answer that. It seems an opportunity presented itself. And while I do have my own tailor who has delivered some of the best work in the country, perhaps I can make use of your... He looks down at the fabric on the counter. Skills. I can feel his words sting with venom. He's mocking me, looking down on me. And what exactly do you want? I ask, ready to decline his offer. A well-tailored blazer. Neil says, he puffs out his chest to make a point. If it's adequate and to my taste, I can forgive your previous actions. I want to decline so badly. I do not much care for Neil's pompous attitude and the way he's subtly mocking my tailoring skills. However, I also realize I destroyed an expensive watch of his, and a mere sorry won't do. Plus, it seems he won't leave me alone, so I sigh and hang my head down. Alright, I say. Splendid. The sooner you finish this, the sooner you can return to... He points at a mannequin standing next to the counter. This. Neil shakes his head a little. What's this doing over here anyway? We would make a much bigger impression if... Suddenly, Neil grabs hold of the mannequin and moves it away from the counter. Hey, I yell out, don't just move things around in my store. Neil drops out of place near the entrance where the sunlight hits. See, the way the light falls from the windows of the door would make this the perfect spot to highlight your latest fashion. No one asks you to start touching and moving my mannequins around. Put it back. I look over to where Neil is and I suddenly see his point. Placing the mannequin into the direct sunlight gives a bigger impression. It makes the layout of the store more harmonious as well. Oh, it doesn't look too bad. Neil grins at me. Are you sure you want me to put it back? He asks. I have this sudden urge to wipe that smug look off his face. I scrunch up my nose. No, leave it. Just stop touching my things. You know what? I'll return another time for the measurements. How about next Friday? It's not like I can say no, so I nod my head at him. Friday is fine, I guess. Very well. I'll see you then. Good day. Neil fixes his collar, then looks at the mannequin with a nod and leaves the store. I'm never going to get rid of this guy, am I? Nope. Okay, it seems like we're getting along better with Neil. Pretty interesting. Let's see what will happen next. Chapter 7. Okay, let's go. Today, Sarah decided to come over to take some pictures with me. I use her skills as a photographer to get the best shots of my clothing line, then use them to advertise my boutique by spreading flyers. It's been working pretty well, and me and Sarah are just now wrapping up another photo shoot that took place in my back room. We had a model pose for the pictures, but I put on a few outfits myself as well. It was fun. I'm in love with the Xenon 20D, she says, looking through the viewfinder of her recently purchased camera. Is that like a parody of like the Canon cameras? How do you pronounce it? Canon? I think it's Canon. I'm sure you've been non-stop gushing about it since you got it, I reply. I know, but you don't understand how great it is. The picture quality is amazing, and it's the most compact and lightweight camera yet in the series. I simply smile at Sarah as she goes off on all the technical details about her camera. I don't really understand much about it, but I'm grateful Sarah helps me stage photo shoots to show off my clothes. Without her, I don't know if I'd get any customers visiting the store at all. You know, looking at your pictures, you could simply be a model instead. You've got the height for it and a pretty face. I smile sheepishly at Sarah for the compliment. I prefer making the clothes instead of wearing it. I'm only doing this for the publicity. I know. I'm not complaining though. At least you're a friendly face. Most of my customers are vain models who think they're the hottest thing on earth, divas in the making. They'll even try to get me to work for them for free, for exposure, they say. Sarah shakes her head in disagreement, then goes back to looking through her camera lens. There's a creep staring at us. I blink at her. Excuse me? Sarah fixes the zoom on her lens, still looking through the viewfinder. Yeah, purple-haired dude. Right outside looking at you. Isn't that the same guy from the cafe? She snaps a picture. I whip my head around and look over near the windows, but I don't see anyone. Huh? There isn't anyone there. Are you sure you saw someone? Sarah walks up to me and shows me the LCD screen of her camera. It has the last picture she took displayed on it. See? The picture quality is so great that I can see with 100% certainty that it is Neil who is standing in front of my store. shielding his eyes from the sun to get a better look. His face looks oddly weird. I'm confused why he's peeking through my window. It's not Friday yet. It's not the same guy from the cafe. Has he been harassing you? Asked Sarah. Want me to beat him up for you? Oh no, no need. I pause. I think. Sarah watches me carefully. A bumpkin like you won't even recognize a dangerous situation, even if it hit you in the face. We're city folk here, it's different. How different? Sarah shrugs her shoulders at me. Dangerous. We get creeps here, just prowling around, looking for some pretty girl they can get their hands on. I frown at her and feel an odd chill run down my back. I'm sure that's not going to happen. Neil doesn't seem to be like that, I think. I only feel the sting of his words sometimes. Sarah puts her finger up in my face like a warning sign. See, that naivete is going to... Naivete? Naivety? Oh my god. See, that naivete is going to get you into trouble someday. Just be careful, okay? If someone's bothering you, let me know. I smile at her and give her a light slap on her arm. You just want to be a hero for the pretty girl. Sarah grins at me. You know it. She tucks her camera inside of her bag. Anyways, I'll send you the pictures once I edit them. I'm sure they turned out quite awesomely. She sighs longly. The scene on Tony D, my true love. Get a room, I joke. Sarah winks at me, then says goodbye. Once she's gone, I wonder about what she said about creeps and whatnot. Is it really that dangerous in the city? I haven't really felt uncomfortable or scared at all so far. Neil isn't dangerous, although I do question why he was outside my store just now, as he has no reason to be there, not until Friday anyways. Maybe he is a stalker or something. I decide to head outside my store and have a look around, but I see no one. It's quite puzzling why Neil was here just a moment ago. I head back inside, I've got better things to do. Time passes by as I continue tending to my store, and eventually I place the close sign at the entrance and turn off the lights. Today was an okay day for business. I hope the pictures that Sarah took will help me out and boost my sales. I'll just need to spread the flyers around myself once I've gotten them printed. Wanting to take a well-deserved break, I head on over to the cafe. The sun is setting in the background, making everything glow a nice and calming orange. As soon as I reach the cafe, I spot someone familiar in the distance. My eyes bulge out a little bit as I realize it's Neil. No way, is Sarah right? Is he some creep stalking me? I stop walking, almost considering to turn around and walk the other way, but then someone else enters the scene. A nurse emerges from the hospital next to the cafe, running over towards Neil, waving a clipboard at him. He turns around to address the nurse, and they seem to be heavily engaged in some kind of dispute. There's some heated words being thrown around, and I can tell Neil does not want to be there. Eventually, Neil signs something on the clipboard and quickly paces away from the nurse. Of course, that also means he's heading straight towards me.
Oh.
When he finally notices me, I see genuine surprise on his face, but it's immediately replaced by an angry frown. Great. Another incompetent person who always messes up. And I thought I was already finished with work. Neil snaps at me. I'm taken aback at his words and sarcasm. It's not like I warranted that kind of response by simply being near him in his presence. I haven't done anything yet. Tell him off creeping around your boutique earlier today, asking why he's so angry. Okay, maybe not do the fierce one, because that's just gonna piss him off anymore, because he's clearly not in a good mood. So let's ask him why he's so angry. Don't fight fire with fire. Well, depending on the situation. But in this situation, no fire. Giving him the benefit of the doubt, perhaps he was just having a bad day, I decided to ask him about the nurse. Are you angry because of something that nurse said? He just simply gives me a loud and disgruntled huff. That's none of your business. I'm getting sick of hearing Neil say it's none of my business. Well, whatever happened, you didn't need to take it out on me. Imagine, after a long day at work trying to fix someone else's mess, you come across another incompetent person who's been known to make a mess before. Of course, I'm not going to be in a very jolly mood. He's acting like I'm some kind of stampeding bull in a China store, just a walking disaster waiting to happen. He just happened to witness 2 accidents caused by me. That doesn't mean I'm like this all the time. We all make mistakes, I say shyly. Your mistake cost me 6,000 euros, he grunts. You said you got reimbursed for that, I fire back. Neil's golden eyes narrow at me, and see he's trying to hold himself back from showing too much emotion. He takes in a deep breath, closing his eyes entirely. And they would very much like to know who the idiot was that broke it in the first place. They can send you the bill instead. Now, unless you'd like to pay that 6,000 euro bill, I suggest you hold your tongue and do as I say on Friday. I look down at the pavement feeling angry but unable to speak up as I know he's in the right and I hate it. Instead of saying another word, I simply shoot him a dirty look. Have a nice evening, Miss Hearth. Neil briskly walks away and I'm left behind feeling irritated once more. What a jerk. Ugh, got a little heated there. I was not expecting that. Okay, so I did a couple more clients, and I also bought some new colors and a bunch of more accessories for designing some outfits. So yeah, I'm really interested to see what new requests we'll get later on, but for now, let's continue on to chapter 8. Last chapter ended with a pretty heated argument. So let's hope we'll try to calm things down now. The pictures that Sarah took of me last week turned out pretty well. We even got a lot of traction on social media and boosted my sales somewhat. Not by any substantial amount, but enough to see a difference. Sarah had to deal with me ranting about a certain jerk with no manners these past couple of days. He was simply so rude to me that day, it still leaves me fuming. Of course, Sarah offered to beat him up for me again, and this time I almost took her up on her offer, but I'd rather not give him more fuel to blackmail me. I'd almost do anything to see him get knocked down a peg or two. Also, I didn't know where Neil lived or worked for a while until Sarah reminded me of his last name, Forrester. The Forresters owned the hospital, so I guess Neil must work there if I always seem to see him running. Oh my god. The Forresters own the hospital, so I guess Neil must work there if I always seem to run into him in the surrounding area. Nonetheless, realizing where he works doesn't matter much to my current predicament because today is Friday. Yep, Neil is supposed to be coming over for his measurements, and I'm not looking forward to this one bit. Is he going to be snappy towards me again, insult me like last time? I really don't want to find out. The bell jingle disturbs me from my thoughts and look up at the entrance. It's just another customer, I sigh. I help my customer buy a dress, and once more I'm left alone in the store. It's a slow day. My eyes dart over towards my childhood pictures, and I recall the time when I met Neil when he was just a little boy. He seemed so sweet and scared back then, nothing like what he is right now. No, he's just a spoiled rich brat who doesn't know how to exercise common decency, I huff. A feeling of dread wells up in my stomach the longer the hours tick by. It's closing time and I've already put up the close sign and Neil hasn't shown up yet. Even if I wanted to berate him for being late, there's no way to contact him. It's not like I have his phone number. I'm not even sure I even want his phone number. Of course, he has the nerve to show up right as I'm closing. You're late, I say. Neil fixes the cuffs on his sleeves. He walks over to the counter, a habit he seems to keep repeating.
Oh?
I don't remember agreeing on a appointed time slot for today. I'm not in the mood for this, it clears it. I'm not in the mood for this as it clearly shows on my face. Neil simply exhales loudly. Let's just get this started. I gesture towards the back where my sewing room is located. The sooner I can get this over with, the sooner I have Neil out of my hair. This is cute. We both walk in this awkward silence, and once I shut the door behind me, it's just me and Neil in this tiny cramped sewing room. Honestly, what have I gotten myself into? Neil stands in the middle, surveying everything with a critical eye, and I wish I had taken the time to clean up and organize everything before he could judge me for being messy. I walk towards my crafting table and pick up my sketchbook along with a pencil. First things first, get a design he likes. Alright, can you tell me a little bit about the kind of blazer you'd like? I say in a bored voice. Elegant, simple, streamlined, the most expensive and durable fabric, dark gray, and in other words, perfection. Neil gives me a firm nod. My pencil hits the sketchbook. I'm not really going to pay any mind to the most expensive fabric part, nor the perfection part, but at least I've got something to work with. I quickly sketch out a regular blazer, one of the most popular patterns. Neil waggles his finger at me. No. Do you think I'd be okay with commonly store-bought blazers? No, try harder. It needs more finesse. Marcus demands, asking for more details. I would prefer you be more specific. So what exactly do you have in mind? I ask in an exasperated voice. Would you like a secret pocket or something to hold all of your cash? This makes Neil exhale air through his nose. He chuckled. I can't believe he chuckled. I think I can live without a secret pocket full of cash, but thank you for the idea. He looks amused. Well then, what is it? Would you like a different pattern? I've got several to work from. I'd like more shape to it. So you'd like it to be more fitted. Alright, I can work that into the design. No later term when I get back to sketching out several blazer designs. I try to put an elegant twist to it, hoping to satisfy his outrageous demands. When I've finished a few, I show it to Neil, turning the sketchbook towards him. It's almost as if I'm waiting for his approval or praise, and that kind of bugs me. His golden eyes glaze over the paper, inspecting the designs. He's got an interested look on his face, and he leans closer over to the table.
Oh.
If you could... Neil then tries to go for the pencil in my hand. His fingers brush over mine, he immediately jerks back, knocking the pencil out of my hand. It lands on the floor with a dull thud. He quickly bends down to grab without another word. I wonder what that was about. Is touching me so below him or something? I stare him down when he gets back up with the pencil. He tries to pass off like nothing has happened and makes a few adjustments on some of my sketches, albeit in a very childish way. Do it like this. Now places down the pencil. There are weird doodles all over my original sketch. You're definitely the next Picasso, I say sarcastically. I wouldn't have to be if you got it right the first time. Neil fires back, crossing his arms. Now something like this is to my taste. I'm going to presume you don't have much high quality fabrics lying around here, so I want to sample the fabric before you purchase it. Do you want me to send it over to you with priority? Yes, I'd like that. I was joking. I didn't know you could joke. Neil and I stare at each other for a while with the tension building up between us. He's got this poker face on, it's hard to guess what's going on in his mind. Then again, maybe it's not hard to guess. All I know is that Neil sure likes to mock me and command me around. We'll worry about the fabric later, just need to get your measurements first. This is the part I've been personally anguishing at night about, getting up and close and personal with Neil. Very well, take my measurements. Neil clasps his hands together. He walks to the middle of the room expecting me to start. He's acting like he's in charge and that's ticking me off just a tiny bit. This is my boutique, I'll have to do what I tell him, not the other way around. I could tell him to take his shirt off, for example, not that I need to. I can take measurements through his shirt just fine, but it's for science. You need to take your shirt off, measure him with your shirt on. We're not that deep into the relationship that we need to be taking off articles of clothing. So let's not ask him to take his shirt off, because I feel like he's just gonna say no anyways. So let's just measure him with his shirt on. We're not that deep into the relationship yet. I take out my measuring tape and I step closer to him. His eyes are following my every move. It's unnerving. Turn around, I say. When he actually does turn around, I'm quite surprised. I expected him to reply with some witty comeback. I shake my head at myself, then place the tape against the nape of his neck. And Neil flinches at my touch. I frown at his back. Did I accidentally scratch you? I ask him, unsure. No, it's nothing. Continue. If it makes you uncomfortable, let me know. I said it's nothing. He repeats himself. Alright, if he says so. I pull the tape all the way down and note the measurements. Arms up, I say, tapping his arm with my hand. Again, he flinches away from me, but he doesn't make a sound or say anything. It's so peculiar. Perhaps he isn't quite used to someone touching him while being measured. He raises his arms and stretches them out so I can reach all the way around him and wrap the tape around his chest. I tighten it and press the palm of my hand against his back. He arches his back the way... bleh. He arches his back the more pressure I exert, almost as if I'm slightly pushing him away. Maybe I should try to relax him as he seems on edge around me. So, do you work at the hospital? I ask, trying to distract myself from the awkward silence. Neil rolls his shoulders after I pull the tape off of him. Why would you need to know that information? I glare at his back while I note down the measurements again. Well, fine. Don't tell me, Mr. Fancy Pants. Turn around, please. I grab his upper arm, noticing his skin jump when I do, and spin him around so he faces me. Neil's making this weird face and refuses to look at me. My family owns it. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say about that matter. So what's this blazer for anyway? Any special occasion? I ask, only slightly interested in the answer. You ask too many questions. And you don't answer enough, I say with a huff. If I know what the occasion is for, then I can create a fitting design for it. Dinner. Family dinner, he says gruffly. With your parents? Yes. So he's having dinner with his parents. His parents are the Foresters. They own the hospital. I do wonder what Neil does at the hospital, but getting an answer out of him is like pulling teeth. I just dropped the mic. Sorry. Why does this keep happening to me? I am so clumsy. I need to get like a mic stand for this thing. Oh my god. Sorry you had to hear that, guys. Let me just adjust things back. I'm so clumsy. Moving on. I lower my body and tighten the tape around his waist, my eyes focused on the numbers. I try to take his measurements of his waist, but that's when I notice how tense Neil is. He's sucking in his stomach. Stop sucking in your stomach. I don't care if you've got a bit of a gut. I need your real measurements, I tell him sternly. This is not going to work out if I get the wrong numbers. Not that I particularly care if he wears a blazer that's too tight on him. I'm doing no such thing, Neil denies. And my body is perfectly healthy for your information. I straighten up and look at him, to which he immediately turns his head away. You're tense, just relax. How can one relax when being prodded and poked and spun around like a ballerina? He can't relax around me. For some reason this makes me gleeful, like I finally have the upper hand if he's being such a jerk to me. Just breathe out and let me measure your waist. Neil takes a big breath and slowly exhales. His reactions are giving me this itch, like I want to touch him more. I tighten the tape around him and I tighten the tape around him and take a step closer, putting myself up close and personal with him. I've been trying to avoid getting too close to Neil this whole time, but that was before I knew how much he'd fidget if I'd be up in his face. Neil awkwardly turns his face away with a cough. Are you okay? I ask him, a light smirk playing on my lips. Like I said before, I can stop if you're becoming uncomfortable. I'm fine. His voice cracks a little. Well, if he says it's alright, I'm sure he doesn't mind if I slow down my actions or drag it out as much as possible. It's like he's revealed his weakness to me and I can't help but want to prod and poke him. I want to tease him. I linger with my touch here and there, though still noting down actual measurements. He's fidgeting, but for some reason he's not telling me to stop. My eyes wander over to his neck. I can see he's got goosebumps. Wait, that's not the kind of reaction I was expecting. Is he nervous? Neil notices my stare and quickly covers his neck with his hand. Are you sure you even went to fashion school? You should have been done by now. You're only taking the measurements of a human, not the whole wide world. Neil's voice has a slight edge to it. Alright, time to wrap this up. I measures inseam one last time and then give him a pat on his back. Done, I say cheerfully. I didn't expect Neil to jump away from me in reaction to the pat on his arm. I barely have time to register that his feet get caught in my tape and he topples over. Neil reaches out to me to stabilize himself. Ooh. Oh no. His weight is too much for me to suddenly bear and he brings the both of us down to the floor with a loud thump. Neil's head crashes against the mirror behind him and I collapse on top of him. I look at him in surprise. He gives me a similar look in return. I seem to be straddling his waist and I am way too close to his face. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is so awkward. Neil's heartbeat thumps underneath my hand. Are you alright? I just have to ask once the shock wears off. Peachy, says Neil, his voice definitely cracking this time. He turns his head away from my gaze. Could you get off me now? What's the rush? Get up. Oh my god, this is so funny. I feel like teasing him, why not? What's the rush? Seriously? Neil looks at me as if I've lost my mind. How about the fact that your weight is killing my air supply? I shift my weight around. Say please. This is fun. Neil looks agitated and embarrassed at the same time, like he can't bring himself to say the words. But knowing he kind of has to since he doesn't have it in him to throw me off of him. In other words, he's stuck with me unless he says the magic word. No. Neil bites his lips. Please, he says in a tiny and defeated voice. I pick myself up with a smirk on my face it's like I had Neil right under my thumb. Or I guess in this situation, literally under me. Once I've removed myself from him, Neil quickly gets up from the floor as well. For some reason, I don't have much faith in your measurements. I could tell you how to measure some parts again. He rubs his arm while glaring at me. I smile at him, knowing exactly why I went over some areas twice. Just have to find out now, won't we? If I got the wrong measurements, I demand you create me an entire new suit. Right, sure, whatever you say, your majesty. I roll my eyes at him like I would ever make him a suit. And don't call me that, he spits out. Oh, it seems like I got under his skin. This is kind of fun, annoying him like this. Your majesty? I say instead. Neil angrily stomps his foot on the ground like a petulant child. Any of those are unacceptable. He then quickly composes himself. You may call me... Yeah, I'm sticking with your majesty, I say, quickly cutting him off. And before he can get another word in, I circle around him and start pushing him by shoving my hands against his back. I get a small rush of satisfaction when I feel his skin twitch under my fingers. Huh? What? Get your hands off me. Time to leave now. I'll let you know which fabric I've chosen, but right now it's closing time, so get out. Bye-bye. Oh my god, this is so funny. I keep pushing him out of my room until one final shove puts him near the entrance of the store. He turns around, anger flashing in his face, and his ears are tinted with red. He wants to say something, but then immediately bites down on his lips and then opens the door to leave.
Oh.
Good night, he yells out, then slams the door behind me. As I stand there all alone, a grin creeps up on my face. I got under Neil's skin. Good. He deserves it for treating me like that. Oh my god. That's so funny. Alright guys, I think I'm going to end it here. So definitely super interesting seeing the progression of their relationship. Getting some like teasing back and forth with the MC and Neil. We also unlocked a new CG. Let's take a look at it at the gallery. There's an alternative one without his shirt on. Okay, so he does take off his shirt. That's interesting. I was trying to keep it PG because, you know, we're not dating yet, so I don't know how it felt if like someone that I don't know would just take off his shirt. From what I'm guessing, it seems like every 4 chapters we get a new CG. At least that's what I'm understanding. But yeah, that was it for now for Neil's route. We just completed up to chapter 8. I had a lot of fun reading through, playing this game again, because it's been a long time since I've played it. And I really can't wait to see what's coming up next. So let me know how you guys feel as well. And of course, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out. And please let me know what you think of Tailor Tales so far. If you like the series, I really am curious. But please, no spoilers in the comments. Anyways, I'm going to call it quits here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll hope to see you guys soon in the next video. Bye!